Hello all. So in this lecture, we'll see some programming examples on arrays. So this is the first example. So this is a simple program to take 5 values from the user and store it in an array. And you have put those 5 elements. So how to get input values, 5 elements into an array. So these things are all same. We have already seen stdio.h main and all. Now we are declaring an array in values of 5. So we are declaring an integer array. Name is values and the size is 5. So the indexing will be values of 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 4. And we are entering the 5 integers. Now this is a way to input the 5 values into that array. So we have to use a loop. So we are using a for loop int I equal to 0. Then we are checking whether I less than 5 and we are incrementing this. So scanf and ampersand values of 0. So initially it will be values of 0. The first value will be entered into values of 0. Then I will be incremented and it will check whether 1 less than 5, it is less than 5. So again the values of 1 will be entered, values of 2 like that. And when it reaches values of 4, then I becomes 5 and it will check I less than 5. It becomes false. So it comes out of the loop and then it will print displaying integers. And again we have to output the values. For that we have to use another loop for int I equal to 0, I less than 5. Remember this, it is I less than 5. And this increment. Then you have to print this values of values of 5. Then one value, one by one, the value will be printed. I'll run this program. You can see. So the console is asking for entering 5 integers. I'm entering 2. Sorry. 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the values will be displayed in that order itself. So this is the way you have to enter values and display this value. So you have to use loop. If you want to enter 100 values, you can use a 100 loop. So you have to, it will be I less than 100. So we'll see another program. So this is a program to find the average of average of n numbers using arrays. So you have already done to find mean, median and mode. There you didn't use arrays. Now using arrays, you can similarly find the average of n numbers. So here n is the input that is to be taken from the user. So if user specifies n as 10, 10 values should be entered and you have to find the average of those 10 numbers. In order to find the average, you have to add all those values and you have to divide by n. So this is a program and we are declaring an array as marks, which is of size 100. You can declare any number of values. So up to 100 values can be entered into this array. So marks of 100 and you're declaring some other variables in, then sum. You're initializing an some variable to 0 and another variable is their average. Now printf enter number of marks. So how many values you want to enter that into the array? That is the n value. So if you want to enter 10 values, you have to enter 10. Then this is the looping. Here you have to insert values into that array. At marks of 0, you have to enter the first value. Marks of 1, marks of 2, like that you have to enter. So printf, this is simply a printf statement to print %d and you are printing I plus 1. It is to denote the first mark. So here enter mark 1 will be printed and you are entering some value ampersand marks of 5. So marks of 0, in marks of 0 the first value will be entered. Then what you are doing is you are calculating the sum. So sum initial value is 0. Now the first marks will be added to the sum. Then again this loop will be repeated. You will be incrementing the I value. I becomes 1 and 1 is less than, if you are giving 10, 1 is less than 10. Then enter mark 2. This will be I plus 1, it will be 2 mark 2 and ampersand marks of 1. So some value will be entered into marks of 1 and that marks of 1 will be added to the previous sum. So sum will go on, and when the loop finishes, after you enter the 10 values, that sum will contain the sum of those arrays. Then you are taking the average, which will be sum by n. Then you are simply printing the average value. You will get the print. I'll run this program. So enter number of marks. So if you want to enter 5 marks, so marks of 5 students, enter mark 1. That's why we are given here. That is why we are given here marks I plus 1, mark percentage I plus 1. Even though the index is 0, we have to enter the first mark. So in order to print as mark 1, we have given I plus 1. You know this thing. So I am entering. So I am entering 5 marks in the marks 2. Then the average, that's all the sum will be calculated inside the loop and average will be calculated. So in this way you can find out. So next third program, it is to initialize some values into an array. So here this is a simple program. Here we are declaring an ARR. The array name is ARR of 5 and it is of type integer. So you can store 5 integer values. So array of 0, the first value will be 5. You are assigning 5 to first element. Then this is the third element. Array of 2 means it is the third element. You are inserting minus 10. And you are inserting another element array of 3 by 2. So this is possible. So 3 by 2 means it will take the integer division. It will be array of 1. So it will be entered into the second element, array of 1. So array of it is equivalent to assigning array of 1 equal to 2. So you can give like this also. 3 by 2 means it will be assigning 2 to array of 1. Then you are assigning array of 0. You are assigning the value of array of 0 to array of 3. So this is the way you can assign values also. And you are printing array of 0, 1, 2 and 3. We'll run this program. So these are the values that will be printed. 5, 2, minus 10 and 5. So since array 3 and array 0 will have the same value, that is 5 and 5. So in this way you can assign values. So here you have to note you can do this also, 3 by 2. Such things can be given, only the integer value will be taken. So index will be an integer value. And this is another program. So in C, this will compile, the compiler will work. But if you are working in C++, some error will be returned. So here we are declaring an array of size 2. So only 2 elements can be stored. And the indexes will be array of 0 and array of 1. Only 2 elements can be stored in that array. But we are printing the values of in C++ also there won't be any problem. Next program, sorry. So in we are just printing array of 3 and we are printing array of -2. So actually these values are not at all in this array. We can store only an array of 0 and array of 1. So if you try to run this program, you will get some garbage values. So you will get some garbage values that will be there in that memory location. Some values will be there. So it will be returning some garbage values. So this is another program. In C++, this will return an array, but in C, it will return only a warning in this program. So you are declaring an array with 2 elements and you are trying to initialize 5 values into that array. So here in this program, you are declaring an array of size 2 and you are initializing 5 values. So what happens? So what happens here is that only the first 2 values will be taken and it will be stored in array of 0 and array of 1. If you try to print array of 4 and all, some garbage values will be printed. Since your size of array was 2, you can store only 2 values. So you won't be able to store these 3 values. So it will take only the first two values and it will return some warnings. So warnings will be returned. So first two values. So we are storing 10 and 20. So 10 and 20 will be output. And we are trying to print array of 4 also. So that value is not actually stored. We cannot store because the size is too early. So some garbage value will be returned. Okay. So initialization is possible with more number of elements than what is specified. It will take only the first two elements. Then we will see another program. This is to demonstrate that array elements are stored in contiguous locations. So we will be printing the address of the values that is stored. So we are declaring an array of size 5. So 5 element array of integer type. Then what we are doing is we are just printing the size of this compiler. We are just printing the size of this integer. How many number of bytes are allocated for this compiler for integer type of variables. We are just trying to find out. Then we are running in a loop for I equal to 0. Here we are printing the address of locations. We are trying to print the address of 0, address of array 1, 2, 3 like that. So we are printing ampersand. That means you are printing the address of those locations. We are trying to find the addresses. So if you run this program, I have already run this program. So size of this array. So size of this compiler is 4. So integer for this compiler, 4 bytes is allocated for array. Address of array 0 is at some address location, some hexadecimal value. You will see the last 3 digits. It is at 700. So 4 bytes will be allocated. So array of 1 will be at 704 and 708. Then it is hexadecimal. So it will be 770C, then 710 like that. It will be in contiguous address locations. So it is a program to show that address locations are contiguous in the case of array. So we are printing the ampersand ARR. So that will be address will be printed. So address locations will be printed. Next program. So we have done this program. This program is to convert a decimal number into an integer number. This program is to convert a decimal number into an integer number. So we have already seen how to convert this. So if you want to convert, you have to do repeated division. So if I want to convert 25, what you have to do is you have to find the remainder. Find the remainder. Here the remainder is 1. Then divide by 2 again. The remainder is 0. Next, divide by 2. The remainder is 0. And here it is 2 ones and the remainder is 1. And the output is, result will be 1, 1. You have to read from here to here. Even though you calculate remainder from here to bottom, the result will be from bottom to top. 1, 1, 0, 0 and 1. So this will be the binary equivalent of 25. So you have to input output 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. So we shall see how to output this thing. So we are using an array for that. We are declaring an array of 20 size. We are inputting a decimal number which is stored in n. And this n is stored in another value. This value is assigned to m. This is just to print. Finally, we need that m value. That's why we are assigning that value to another integer. Now we are inputting a decimal integer, so 25 will be input. Now what we do is we have to perform repeated division and we have to get the remainder. That remainder should be stored in an array. So that's what we are doing here. We have already seen this program. So from array I equal to 0 and n greater than 0. So when n becomes 0, we can stop the division. So from I equal to 0. So AR of 0. Here array is A. So A of 0. So what we do is we will find the remainder. We have to get the remainder only. We want the output as remainder. So what we do is 25 more 2 will be done, and that remainder will be taken and it will be stored in a of 0. So first remainder will be at a of 0. Then we are doing n by 2. So it will be 12. That's what we have seen here. Next will be n will be 12. So n becomes 12. 12 is greater than 0. Then I will be incremented. Again, we take the remainder. 12 more 2. The remainder is 0. So that remainder will be stored at a of 1, a of 2, like that. Now, we want the result in the reverse order. So actually, this will be a of 0. Now we have stored the results like this. A of 0, this will be a of 1, this will be a of 2, and this will be a of 3, and this will be a of 4. Now we want to print the results in the reverse order. So a of 4 should be printed first, then a of 3, a of 2, a of 1, and a of 0. So we have, after doing this, when n reaches 0, all the values, all the remainder will be stored in that A array. Now we want the result to be printed in the reverse order. So what we have to do is, we are starting from I minus 1 minus. So now the I value will be, if it is, this will be I value will be 5, because we have to store 5 elements. So I value will be 5. So here I becomes 5. When we are inputting 25, the I value will be 5. Then we will start from 4, because we have to print A of 4. We have to print A of 4 first. So we are starting from 4. So I is decremented first. So I is 5 now. I will be 4. And we are printing A of 4 first. Then this loop will be continued until I becomes less than 0. That is, if I becomes minus 1, it will stop. So A of 4 will be printed first, then A of 3 will be printed, A of 2 will be printed, like that it will go on. So if you run this program, so you have to enter a decimal number. I am entering 25. So this will be the output 11001. So actually the array will be stored in A of 0 will be 1, A of 1 will be 0, A of 2 will be 0, A of 3 will be 1, and A of 4 will be 1. Now we have to print in the reverse order. For that we have used this loop I minus minus. So I will be 5 after this execution. So we have to increment it to I equal to 4, and you have to print A of 4 first. So this will be printed first, like that. Okay. So this is another program. Convert a decimal to binary number using arrays. You can try this program. You try to use the GCC compiler itself. So this is another program. This program does binary search, linear search. So you will be entering some values into an array. For example, if you want to enter 10 values, you will be entering 10 values, 10 random values into an array. And then you will be giving a number like 25. And you have to check whether 25 is present in that array or not. So you have to you have to search in that array. You have to search in the first location, second location, third location, fourth. Like that, you have to search all the locations and you have to check whether that element is present in that array. So this is a program to do this. So you are declaring an array of size 30. You are declaring some other variables and you are declaring a found variable. It's a constant. It's a variable to see whether we have found an element or not. So first you are asked to print how many numbers. So how many numbers you want to enter into this array. The maximum size is 30. You can enter up to 30 numbers. So if it is 10, so you will input 10 elements. Then you are asked to enter the values. We use the same loop. You will be entering 10 values. If you are entering n as 10, this loop will be repeated 10 times and 10 values will be entered into this array. After that, you are asked to enter a key to be searched. You have to enter some value that is to be searched. And value will be stored in key. Now what you have to do is you have to again check the array. So you have to start from I equal to 0. A of 0 should be checked. You have to check whether A of 0 contains that key element, A of 1 contains A of 2, like that. You have to check till the end of the array. For that we use this loop, and if A of I, what you have to do is if A of I, A of 0 equal to key, then you can simply print found at this location, found that element at this location, and you are giving found equal to 1, and you will exit this loop and you can come out. Otherwise, it will continue this loop again. Then the second element will be checked with the key. Third element, like that, it will go on repeating. And finally, if it is not in that element, this loop, this statement will work. If found equal to 0, then the element is not found. It will print not found. We will run this program. So you have to work out with an example. As you have done in the assignment, you have to give some values and you have to check the loops and statements. So I am entering 5 elements. So you have to enter the 5 array elements. I am giving 23, 34, 56, 78, and 89. So we have input. We have input 5 elements. Now we can search any element. I am giving 78. So 78 is present at location 4. So it is found at 3. So array index will be at 4, 3. So it is found at. So this is a program to perform linear searching. So you will be inputting some elements into an array and you will be checking each element with a key element, the element that is to be searched. You will be searching, will be checking with that element. If found, then it will be returned. And you can run the same program to find out whether you are entering 23, 12, 34, 56, and 78. Now we will check for another number which is not present in this array. You are inputting 89. So that 89 is not there, so not found will be returned. So these are some of the programs in array. So we can try some other programs also. I'll give us assignment. Thank you.